What's up, it's Nez, and hello everyone, and welcome back to Fatal 12. Last episode, not much really happened aside from Miharu reassuring us that she's still on our side. I slept so soundly last night that I didn't even dream. Dreams. Hard to believe that such a concept has taken a whole new meaning for me. I'd never considered the possibility of a whole nother world existing within our dreams. Not to mention a goddess like Parka coming along and connecting me with others through said world. I mean, who could imagine meeting complete strangers within your own dream? It'd be a romanticized situation if this were a shoujo manga, I'm sure. I cast my mind back to the other participants' appearances. That's when I remember something crucial. Yes, Rinka, now you remember. And also I remember that we did stalk a kid to an old man's house the other episode. How could I forget? Naomi's message from yesterday springs to mind. She said that there's definitely something suspicious about that girl and where she's staying. It's not just any old man either, he's Japanese. That man is numeral 5. I might be onto something. Actually, I should have caught on right away. There's still plenty of time before I need to be at school, though. I want to try something. My decision made, I make my way to the old man's house. Ew. Getting confrontational, Rinka? Or you still want to hide out and scout the place? Fortunately, I make it all the way without getting lost. It's a pretty tricky route after all, but jotting down the address yesterday turned out to be worth it. But I probably would have been fine without it, considering I've somehow managed to memorize the route. I make sure to keep some distance away to avoid looking suspicious. It may be early in the morning, but people are still passing through. Once the area empties out, I check inside his mailbox. I feel pretty bad about doing this, but it's necessary. There are a slew of letters in here, definitely more than the day's worth. Most of them are from debt collectors. Not just from one collection agency either, there are multiple different senders. I ignore all of that, grab a random letter and then remove it from the box. I want to see to whom it's addressed, of course. That has to be the name of the old man living here. Just to be sure, I check a few other letters as well, they all cite the same name. All that's left is to get a glimpse of his face. I consider waiting for him to leave the house, but I need to remain mindful of the time. As important as this is, I still have school. Really, Rinka? Your life's in danger and yet your first priority is school? Helps that I'm probably safest there too. Just as I decide to stick around for as long as I can, I notice two figures in the distance. Two figures that I can recognize even. One of them male, the other female. Both are foreigners and tall. Oh shit, it's Odette and Federico. There's still plenty of distance between us, so I can't make out their faces. Not that I need to, I can tell it's them based on their silhouettes. Not only are they participants, but they're also the most dangerous duo by far. Federico Carminati and his partner. I instinctively duck for cover. They have to be targeting the girl. Either that or they're looking into the relationship between her and the old man just as I am. Assuming he turns out to be a participant, it's likely they've tracked him down here. Numeral 11 is carrying a notepad. I assume she's gotten hold of his address somehow. In that case, they must be coming for him instead of the girl. After all, she wouldn't be listed as living here. Just as I'm deciding whether to stick around or head for school, the front door gets propped ajar. Noticing this, the duo duck into a nearby alley. From what I can tell, numeral 11's the one who prompts them to do so. That surprises me. She seems like the kind of person to leap in when the opportunity presents itself, so I don't expect her to tread carefully. Both the girl and the old man are likely aware of the situation they put themselves in, so it's only natural for them to scout out their surroundings before they leave the house. Deciding that the coast is cleared, the door swings open. Light pours out of my bag all of a sudden. The moment that old man steps out of the house, in fact. That's when I become certain that he is Ushizuka Shigetsugu. His appearance matches what I saw in the dream world, a tenacious-looking old man. I got the impression that he was a shut-in of sorts before, but his current attire of a sweater and loose pants says the opposite. Numeral 11 and Federico remain hidden for some reason. Regardless, I've confirmed that Ushizuka's a bona fide participant. It's safe to say I'm putting myself in danger if I stay any longer. As such, I slink back to the station, taking care not to bump into any of the others. Well, that was tense. At least no one found out we were there. Or did they? I whisper to Odette when the old-timer leaves his house. She may have whispered, but she also slams her foot down on mine. Gotta admit, she's uncharacteristically cautious at times like this. You'd think someone massive like her would charge right in, but nope. She even keeps a fair distance from the house to ensure we aren't seen. Granted, putting this much distance between us means she gets that her massive body don't lend itself to stealth. Enough about her. Let me recall how we ended up here in the first place. Me and Odette had a talk about who to target after the third election, where that crazy thin Japanese lady got eliminated. Odette's intuition played a big part in us targeting Ro, so we still hadn't made use of the cards we were dealt in the beginning. Knowing there'd be a name or two among those initial cards, we decided to go after whoever was in my set. Normally, I'd be against showing off my cards, but Odette told me which card she'd taken from Ro immediately afterwards, so... Well, not like she chose to do that without planning to get something in return. Turns out I had taken the Russian kid's name card, Sophia something something. The kid had been through some rough stuff, but it ain't any of my concern. We took her parents hostage and Odette got her to spill her life story. Thing is, she implied that she had one of Odette's cards. Not only that, but Odette decided to give her some time to screw around. Time to let her get over her regret, really. Can't say why she did it, but there ain't no point in trying to get into that woman's head. I wouldn't have been able to learn as much about Sophia with just her name, so I decided not to complain. Had things gone accordingly to plan, Odette would have eliminated Sophia, but that Miharu broad one-upped her. Make no mistake, Odette ain't the type to let something like that slow her down. We're the same in that regard. Plenty of things went awry for me back in Italy, but I never took issue with it. In fact, those situations are when people expose their worst side. You gotta make the most of that. Just like I said in the Court of Fate, 2 of the 3 cards dealt to me at the beginning belong to participants that have already been eliminated. Next up is numeral 5, Ushizuka Shigetsugu. Odette had his name card, so we used it to dig up dirt on him, and here we are.
おい、ぼーっとしてんじゃねえ。撤退するぞ。
は？なんでだよ。相手は GG だ。と捕まえて情報を吐かせりゃいいだろうが。それか、あいつのいないうちに家に入っちまえばいいだろ。
バカかってんだ。これから通勤ラッシュの時間に入る。ただでさえ私らは目立つんだ。通報でもされたら厄介だろう。
Dude, Odette may be big and buff, but she knows how to play the stalking game.
早朝か深夜にもう一度来る必要がある。ここは住宅街だからな。ソフィアやローの時よりも慎重に行かねえと。
俺より目立つのあんただけどな。
She smashes her foot down on mine again. Guess she isn't too pleased about the implication that she's the only one that stands out.
だけどさ、結局新しい情報は得られなかっただろ。
いや、あの家がジジイの住処だって分かれば死因は予想できる。
ボロっちい家だが、それで分かるのか。いや、なるほどな、だからか。
珍しく察しがいいじゃねえか。言ってみろ。
Figured she'd spill the beans if I acted like I caught on, but that didn't go quite as planned. Now I know not to even bother pretending. She smacks my shoulder before she continues.
他に身寄りがないジジイだ。日本じゃそういう連中が孤独死してしばらくしてから発見されるってのは問題になってるらしいじゃねえか。日本は特に閉鎖的なコミュニティ。村社会だっつうから起こりやすいのかもしれねえな。腐った死体やらの清掃なんかを専門にしてる業者すらあるらしい。てめえが話を聞いた主婦の言葉を思い出しな。
Yep, it's hard to live alone in Japan.
まあベラベラと喋る太った主婦だったな。
I think back to what she told me. Seems like there were rumors of him kicking the bucket since he rarely left the house.
ガシか。しかし、いくら孤立したジジイでも先進国でガシはないんじゃないか。
そうでもないさ。あの主婦はジジイが腰を痛めてることも話してただろ。
Yeah, that's right, she did. Don't know why she remembers more of this stuff than me when I was the one who talked to the woman.
ひどい腰痛ってのは自力で動けなくなることがある。私が船に乗ってた時にもそうなっちまった乗組員はいた。ジジイが家で突然そのレベルの腰痛に襲われたとしよう。元から患ってたんなら突発ではねえけど、とにかく孤立しているから助けを求められない。近所の連中もジジイが家から出てこないのは慣れっこだから気にしない。金だけもらって介護を受けてるわけじゃねえから短期間じゃ訪問もねえ。
Wow, they're really thinking this through. These zoo are terrifying.
人間は7日飯を食えなかったら、あるいは3日水が飲めなければ死ぬんだ。私はよく知ってる。
I can tell she's serious by her tone of voice. Knowing what she's been involved in, I wouldn't be surprised if her crew had come close to starvation at some point. That or she's seen it happen to one of her shipmates before.
重度の腰痛で動けなくなっちまい、 助けも呼べずそのままガチか。ありえない話じゃないと思うが、そんな早く。
A familiar light emanates from my book. The sign that a new card's been made. The same thing happens for Odette too. When she notices, she can't help but grin. It's honestly sickening just how good she is at this.
だけど動けないほどの腰痛があっても、さっきジジイが外に出てた。
So the old man died of starvation.
ソフィー・ランジェラの時もそうだったが、選定の間は体がある程度回復してるってことなのか。
てめえの予想の通りだろうな。肉体の状態はどこかの時点まで戻されるって考えた方が良さそうだ。
She nods in reaffirmation after repeating what I said. I half expected her to say she doesn't care, so it takes me by surprise. Her expression reverts to its usual state, and then she turns around.
ほらよ、十分収穫はあった。いい加減戻るぞ。
We head back the way we came, making sure not to be spotted by Ushizuka. Unbeknownst to Rinka, Alan has been tailing her for the past few days. Oh shit! It brings him to the residential district where Ushizuka Shigetsugu, whose name he has yet to learn, lives. What's more, he has learned the whereabouts of both her school and Lion House. Fuck! Seeing that she's making her way to school after obtaining the elderly man's name card, he chooses to stop tailing her for the time being. He closes his eyes and recalls her figure.
Rinka.
Oh god, he knows her name! Eliminating her would prove a simple task, were he to actively focus on it. However, a number of reasons prevent him from doing so. The first is her relationship with numeral 2, Miharu. She may have gone to lengths to make it seem like they had a falling out, but Alan witnessed them being friendly at Lion House. It confirmed to him that they are still cooperating. One cannot target Shishimai Rinka without first dealing with Hebinata Miharu. Alan has no idea which cards she was dealt with at the beginning either, which is the main reason for his hesitation in getting involved with her. Her actions during the previous election show that she cannot be underestimated. She may have eliminated a girl far younger than herself, but she went head-to-head with numeral 11 to obtain election rights. The biggest reason of all, however, is that Alan has found himself under the suspicion of Japan's police. His recklessness while obtaining Kamibuchi Keiko's information has landed himself in a tight spot. He had to make sure to scout out the positions of each camera in the hospital and cut off those he couldn't avoid, but something unexpected happened. He somehow ended up on the list of suspects responsible for the attack on the hospital. Under normal circumstances, he would have used illegal means to ensure that he would not be arrested, but his current situation does not allow for that. Especially because he holds far less influence in Japan than back in India, where his company is based. He may have some leeway, but now is no time to flex those muscles. Valid as those reasons are, Alan is simply using them as a means to distract himself from the reality of the matter. There is a far simpler reason behind his choice to not pursue Rinka, one that he had noticed earlier. The look in her eyes, it reminded him of himself. Not only does she lack his amused fortune, but she is also nowhere near as physically imposing, and yet somehow, her eyes burned with a determination matching his own.
それよりも
Alan has a chance to learn the old man's name the same way Rinka did, but he opts not to. To be more accurate, he can't. This is thanks to his spotting of a particular duo keeping their eye in the old man's home. Numerals 3 and 11. Oh, great, they've finally spotted each other. Can they fight each other while we, just investigate on our own? Alan arrived after Rinka's departure, so likely they had no idea that she was also there.
11番の女は確か5番氏名を取得していたな。
That was more than enough reason to understand why she was here. With sufficient connections at one's disposal, learning where someone lives based on their name alone is a simple feat. What surprises Alan is the fact that someone like her would cooperate it with numeral 3. The sheer stupidity he displayed in the court of fate had Alan convinced that he could have been left for later, but that's no longer the case if he's with numeral 11. It may not seem like it, but Alan has respect for those who have eliminated other participants. Only 2 people have earned that respect thus far. One is Miharu and the other is numeral 11. Alan can also tell that the latter is no ordinary person. One glance was all he needed to understand her background and the deeds in which she was involved. Based on what he's seen, she seems to have the upper hand on numeral 11.
男の方は手足かあるいはまあいい今すべきは
And that is... His target switches from the old man to these 2. Yes, that's right! Our 2 worst competitions are gonna fight each other! Keeping an eye on them will likely lead to him getting his hands on numeral 5's information without much effort. Not only that, but discovering where they're based now while unaware of his plans will give him the advantage down the line. That may be enough to make up for the advantage his celebrity status gives him. He begins to tail the two, taking extra care not to be noticed. Soon after Alan returns to the residential district, his attempt to tail them hasn't ended as well as he hoped. Not from being noticed though. Alan trusts himself to not slip up when it comes to that. However, those two must have unconsciously taken a path to shake any potential pursuers. It eventually led to him losing sight of them.
やはりあの女が優先か。
He mutters to himself so as not to stand out. He then makes his way back to his own base of operations. The time has come for him to finally take action. After a long day, I finally have some time to relax in my room. Well, we didn't actually have a whole day to ourselves. It was actually in the point of view of Carminati, Odette, and Alan. Interesting. Nothing noteworthy had happened beyond this morning's events. Although I guess the fact that my class has finally gotten around to prepping for the culture festival counts as noteworthy. Sounds like they've moved forward with the fortune teller idea. The one in charge will essentially prepare a bunch of fortune telling methods and use them on whoever stops by. They've gone with this plan because the one in charge wants to test out these so-called methods. Fortune telling, reading one's fate. Funny how they've ended up with that after the things I've experienced. At least I'm not involved in the plans or being asked for my permission. They're just gonna ask me and Miharu to help the day of. Mao, on the other hand, seems fascinated by the whole thing. She'll be helping to prep it as well as work longer than we will during the festival.
真面目な顔して思わせぶりなこと言っておけばいいんだよね。
Just what you'd expect to hear from her. I wonder if they'll manage to finish everything on time since the culture festival is in 2 weeks. I bet we're the only class this far behind schedule. I already feel exhausted and it's barely 10 p.m. Well, it makes sense considering I left the house early this morning. Ushizuka Shigetsugu. I repeat the elderly man's name in my head to make sure I don't forget it. Now I have to find out his cause of death and regret, but I'm not quite sure how to go about it. I'm still quite curious about the girl staying with him too. While I do have her cause of death card, all I know is that a fire is involved, nothing else. That's probably the biggest issue with the cards dealt to us at the beginning. First things first.
ここからどうすればいいかだね。
As if things aren't difficult enough, I've got Federico and numeral 11 to worry about as well. Things may have gone well enough yesterday and today, but that doesn't mean I'm a pro when it comes to tailing people and such. It's entirely possible that I'll mess up at some point and get myself stuck in a tight spot. Regardless, I can't sit back and let those two get the upper hand. Well, Alan's already stalking you and you don't know it. One option is to throw caution to the wind and approach Ushizuka directly, but that's too risky. Numeral 11 would likely end up adding me to her list of targets alongside him and the girl if I did that. I try searching Ushizuka Shigetsugu on the internet, but I don't get any relevant results. Getting info on him without putting myself out there seems tricky. I can't just waltz over to City Hall and ask for his family register when I'm completely unrelated to him either. That's why I'm going to approach things from a different angle. I do have an advantage over that duo. A majority of the participants, myself included, are from Japan. Plus, most are located near Shinjuku, an area rich with schoolgirls just like me. It keeps me from standing out in most situations, which is advantageous. The only issue is that the sole approach I can think of involves questioning the locals' nearest residence. Actually, that might not be too bad an idea. I did shuffle over there pretty early this morning, so there weren't many people around. It's probably why those two showed up when they did, too. They aimed for a time when few people would be around.
私なら人が多い時間でも。
It's hardly normal to ask questions about some random old man, but hey, I'll still seem less suspicious than either of those two doing the same. If I really need to, I can even pretend to be a granddaughter of an ex-wife or something. I just need to act like Naomi did at the hospital where Keiko was. I'll try going in the evening. Everyone's running around shopping around by then. Not only does it give me more people to question, but I can also blend into the crowds if I need be. With that sorted, I should sleep as much as possible so I'll be ready to take action. But just as I'm about to turn off the lights, I hear a distinct meow coming from down my feet. It's none other than Leith, our friendly little freeloading cat.
あ、レテ、どうしたの？
I always make sure to feed it and have the water out, so I doubt it's hungry. It doesn't respond to my question, of course. It'd be pretty freaky if it did.
私、もう寝るからね。
I want to give it some attention, but I'm a bit too tired tonight. I flick the light off and clamber into my bed. Thief follows suit, which is rare. It prefers to sleep atop the covers, not under them. This little rascal has a habit of using my stomach as its pillow, too. I stroke its head for a moment before shutting my eyes and focusing on sleep. It's amazing how warm something with such a tiny body can be. Hello? Is it divine selection time? But it's only Tuesday! There's a term for when one realizes they're dreaming, lucid dreaming. Ever since divine selection began, I've experienced it at least once per week. Granted, I'm not quite sure that you can call what goes on in the court of fate a dream. Whatever, I find myself once again in a strange place, despite knowing for a fact that I went to sleep not long ago.
Yeah.
It's the strange purple man that we met in the first episode! Tell me, are you related to Parka?
お久しぶりでもないのかな。私は人間の時間の感覚がよくわからなくてね。
I've seen this man once before. It's only now that I remember having met him in my dreams before though.
私のことは覚えているかい？いや、今思い出したのだろうね。
Even I completely forgot that he was in this game.
君が君の大事な記憶を忘れてしまっているように、この夢の中での出来事も忘れてしまうという必然性があるからね。
I want to say something, but I find myself unable to speak. He dominates the conversation.
君はコーヒーのお店をやっているそうだけれど、私は紅茶の方に興味があってね。一度アフタヌーンティーというものを楽しみたいと思っているのだけれど、もっともこの夢の世界では一緒に語り合う相手がいないどころか、ティーセットというものが存在しないこと自体が残念だよ。
This man knows who I am. I'm not sure how important that realization is when I'm likely to forget everything he says though.
さて、そろそろ雑談もいいだろう。今夜はもう一つ、君の抜け落ちていた記憶が舞い戻ってきたのだからね。
Have they?
お祝いの言葉を告げるためにわざわざ出向かせていただいたよ。どんな記憶かって？おっと、君が夢の中で記憶を取り戻す前に出てきてしまったね。
Well, yeah, we haven't exactly remembered how we died yet.
やはり人間の時間の概念は難しい。一方的に流れるだけではあるのだけれど、感覚がつかみにくいよ。
This guy actually miscalled us on Dream Skype.
では、朝を迎える前に少しだけ君の記憶を思い出すといい。
Are we finally going to remember? It seems like we are. Oh shit, why are we in the Court of Fate? I'm standing alone in the Court of Fate. I'm on the same platform as usual, but for some reason none of the other participants are here.
ごきげんよう。運命の奴隷となってしまった哀れな子羊様。
Hello, our lovely lolly goddess Parka. A girl dressed in all white addresses me. It's Parka. She stands in front of me despite the fact that there is no solid surface beneath her feet. I watch from a distance as both of us face one another. I conclude that this is one of my memories, since I'm able to watch myself as though I'm a third party.
命を落としてしまったあなた様の精神は今、運命をさまよってらっしゃいますわ。ですが、あなた様は改変された運命の中で、女神の選定の参加者になっていただきます。
This was our first interaction with Parka. She begins to tell me about divine selection. She explains all the rules. I watch myself try to get a word every now and then, but she ignores each attempt. Everything she's explaining here is the exact same of what she told us during the first election. So wait, did we meet Parka way before divine selection started? Is that the lost memory that the guy meant? Memories of an explanation I had heard before. This must have taken place right after I died then. Considering the in-depth explanation she's giving, it's no wonder she was unimpressed with me when I asked her about it again. Well, remembering this explanation of rules I already know is more pointless than one would expect too.
ただし、忘れてはいけないことが一つございます。あなた様方12人は皆、12週間後の同じ時、同じ場所にいた可能性を持っていました。一度は失われてしまった未来で到達していたはずの場所。その場所こそ、あなた様方の運命の終着点となりますわ。選定で最後の一人となられましたら、必ずその時までにその場所へ向かってくださいませ。
Oh, that's not even a question. We're gonna survive all of this and we're gonna bring Miharu with us.
運命の終着点にたどり着いて、初めてあなたが死の運命を回避し、生き残ることができたという運命が定着いたしますわ。もし運命の終着点にたどり着かなければ、それはその時のお楽しみということにいたしましょう。
What exactly happens if we get eliminated? I don't trust that smug smile she has on her face. She didn't mention a specific time or place. Instead, she placed her finger on my brow. She closed her eyes and then her finger began to glow. She didn't need any words for this part. With that touch, Parka etched the final destinations into our mind. My eyes jolt open after a night of sleep. I remember exactly what I saw in my dream. Immediately after my death, I was taken to the Court of Fate and met with Parka. She explained all the rules that I had heard during the first election. No wonder she was so unimpressed when I asked again. I'm fairly sure she told me my cause of death and regret as well, but I can't remember any of that. I remember something far more important though.
運命の終着点。
This was the first time I've heard of it. Becoming the final participant alone isn't enough. I will need to get to this place afterwards. It's a place I know quite well.
あの公園のナオミと話したあの場所。
Oh, fuck! That's fucking ominous! Why is it that park? It's a huge park located in Shinjuku. A plaza from which you can see a clock tower-esque building in the distance is there. It's one of my favorite spots. That's where all 12 of us are meant to gather, the final destination of our individual fates.
まさかそんなことって。
It's hard not to be surprised. That park is pretty close to my home. 12 weeks after Divine Selection begins, or 7 weeks from now, the weather will likely be nice, so I can't say that I wouldn't have gone for a walk there. Besides, it's also a popular tourist spot. Sonia mentioned that she had planned on coming to Japan with her family in the first place. It wouldn't be surprising if she would have gone there with them. As for the others, I'm not sure why they'd go there. But the fact remains that it's a popular spot. There are plenty of reasons to go check it out. It also explains the deja vu I felt when talking there with Naomi. Parka had shown me the scenery once before. I'm not sure how to describe the sensation I experienced when she did so. I'd guess it'd be similar to the feeling you get when you're dreaming.
そういうことだったんだ。
I can finally answer a number of questions I've been asking myself. It explains why most participants are Japanese, as well as why those who aren't have gathered in Japan. Parka never did explain why the place is our final destination. Much like she never discussed how or why Divine Selection exists, she probably deemed it unnecessary information. Either way, I've managed to regain an important memory regarding the whole process. By the time I finished processing this revelation, I noticed that a certain feline isn't beside me anymore. Guess it slinked off at some point while I was asleep.
まったく自由なやつだにゃ。
I let slip an awful cat pun without even thinking about it. At least there's no one at the door. I might have gone ahead and elected myself for elimination if someone caught me saying that. Just as I start to get ready for school, I check the time and my heart nearly jumps out of my throat. I must have been in a pretty deep sleep. I woke up half an hour later than usual. We're late for school! But why are we in front of this house? Here we go again, loitering around Ushizuka Shigetsugu's house. Seems like he's the kind of guy who enjoys his morning walks. He might be happy that he doesn't need to worry about his back pain, but come on, how does someone enjoy walking the same path over and over again? Whatever, the only thing that we care about is that there's no one home this time of day. We're trying to think of a way to sneak in while he's out. And when I asked Odette what we do inside, she gave me a quick answer.
痕跡を探す。
Not that any more needs to be said. It's pretty obvious what we'll do. The only piece of info we're missing is his regret. Chances are he's been living here forever, based on the crappy condition of the house. That means he'll have some stuff that's been lying around for ages. The kind of stuff that'll point us to his regret, most likely. So basically, we gotta find keepsakes or mementos that link to the life he's led.
だが、鍵はどうするんだ?
Are we just gonna break in, or are we gonna find some way sneaky?
窓を割ればいいだろう。
Really? We're just breaking in? Trust her to make it even more obvious that she's about to commit a crime. Jeez, ain't no way we can get away with doing that in a place like this. It's not the middle of the night either. It's still way too early in the morning. We at least avoided the morning rush, but that doesn't mean the streets are empty. I let out an exasperated sigh loud enough for Odette to hear before offering my own suggestion.
まあいい。鍵は俺に任せてくれ。マフィアの下積み時代にピッキングの技術を覚えてるからな。
意外じゃねえか。
He does have his use, aside from being an asshole that's also after Miharu.
最新式の鍵なんかは無理だろうがな。3分程度でいい。人が来ないかを見張っててくれ。あのジジイは孤立してるが、さすがに俺みたいなのが鍵をこじ開けてたら通報される。
オーケー。ま、たまにはてめえにも見せ場を作ってやろう。
Just as she shoots a smirk at me, someone makes their way out of the house. Bingo, he's off for another morning walk. After making sure he's far enough away, we slip over to the door. But isn't the little boy or girl still inside the house? Let's find out.
よし、俺の出番だ。道の方を見ててくれよ。
任せた。しかしよ、てめえあのジジイが出てくるところ見てたろ。
おう。
あいつ、鍵閉めてたか？
I get what she's talking about. He never did turn around to lock the door after leaving. When I think about it, he didn't lock it yesterday either. I guess that's why Odette never mentioned anything about the lock in the first place. I bite my tongue to stop myself from cursing at her before twisting the doorknob. So much for getting my time to shine. I open the door, remove my shoes, and carry them in one hand as I make my way in. The interior looks the way I expected, dilapidated wooden furniture, newspapers and magazines littered all over, etc. But holy hell is it small. I don't know if it's normal for Japanese houses or not, but you can barely fit anything in here. In fact, me and Odette can't stand shoulder to shoulder without getting pressed against the walls.
さて、家宅捜索としゃれ込もうぜ。
Her expression is glowing as she opens and closes her hands in a grabbing motion. We probably don't need to worry about being loud while he's out, but I'm not too comfortable with Odette speaking in her typical volume.
誰？
Uh-oh, the foreigner kid is here. That little question takes us by complete surprise. It's a kid's voice.
ああ？
I don't recognize the voice either. That geezer's supposed to be living by himself, so there shouldn't be anyone else here. I know I didn't imagine it though. Someone definitely called out to us.
厄介だな。
は？
2人いるんだもん。
You guys have been found out! The voice is more clear this time, but I can't tell if it's a boy or girl. Definitely a kid though.
聞いたことがある声だ。夢の中で。お前たちの声は知っている。
Well, that helps explain things. Ain't no doubt about it now. The run's a participant. Based on the voice, it's gotta be numeral 4.
ブランク。てめえが白紙のガキだな。
3番と11番の人たち。まさか2人が協力していたなんて。
ジジイと4番のガキが協力していたなんて。
I take it back. These two don't really think things through. We express our mutual disbelief simultaneously. With that out of the way, the kid approaches us. Looks to be just over 5 feet tall. Ain't Japanese based on the facial features, that's for sure. Looks really young though. I guess they're in the middle of puberty, so 13, 14. Their voice hasn't broken either, which makes it a doozy to discern the gender. Based on their overall figure though, I guess female?
さっきのどういう？ブランクってのがこいつの使命なのか。それに、そもそもどうして名前を？
I know Odette has a kid's card, but he has no name?
言ってなかったな。こいつの使命は私の初期カードの1枚だ。だが言った通り、内容はブランク。白紙で何も書かれちゃいなかった。直接会えばわかるとも思っていたが、残念。
The kid's expression shifts upon hearing Odette's claim. Their guard has just gone up.
ブランクってのは名前がないってことなの？
さあな。どうなんだ？
教えると思う。
The kid tries to provoke Odette with a glare, so she scoffs back. What a brave kid!
まあそれは僕自身知らないから答えられないんだけど。
Then how did you get into Japan? The least you need is a passport.
戦闘に参加しているのは分かっているけど、どうして死んだのか、それまでにどうやって生きてきたのか、自分の名前さえも分かっていない。
Oh fucking hell, come on!
記憶喪失ってやつか。
女神は不親切だな。その状態で選定に参加させるとは。肉体だけまともにすりゃいいわけじゃなかろうに。公平性なんてありゃしねえ。
妙に同情してるな。
Considering that Odette let Sonya have some freedom before her elimination, I'd guess so.
同情じゃねえよ。哀れみだ。
With that, she moves her sights back onto the kid.
ジジイとは協力しているのか？
協力？知らないよ。僕たちはただ普通に生活しているだけだ。選定に参加する気はないからね。
なんだ？
What?
おとなしく死んでもいいってことか。
そうじゃない。お前たちが脱落させ合ってくれれば最後に残るのは僕たち2人だ。
Well, obviously that didn't turn out too well because Rinka, Alan, Odette, and Federico all know that you're here.
二人残ったらどうする？
おじいちゃんに生きてほしい。おじいちゃんは迷子になっている僕を助けてくれた。選定の参加者だと分かっているのに家に引き取ってくれた。記憶がないから未練も分からないんだよ。でもおじいちゃんと暮らすのは楽しいから、僕は少しでも長い時間この生活を続けたい。
Little boy or girl, can I just ask, when you mean your life is fun with the old man that took you in, I hope he's not doing anything bad to you. Both of us are staring the kid down, but they don't flinch in the slightest. Normally I'd call bullshit on a story like that, but this kid's different. Their expression makes it clear that they ain't lying.
もう察しはついてると思うけどよ。私らはこの家にジジイの未練の手がかりになるものがないかを探しに来たんだ。
未練？おじいちゃんの死因じゃなくて。
Well, no, we already found that out. It was frankly quite easy.
残念だったな。てめえの大切なジジイの死因はもう見つけてるんだ。
そうならおじいちゃんの情報に関わるものは絶対に見つけさせちゃいけないね。だからお前たちをおじいちゃんの家には入れさせない。
I'm very curious at what this kid can do to Odette. They lower the tone of their voice, making their threat obvious to us both. This sudden shift takes me by surprise, but I mean we're dealing with a kid.
つまりジジイの未練につながるものがこの家にはあるわけだ。あるいはてめえ自身が知っている。
どうして？
Kid, it's quite obvious by the way you act.
てめえはいちいちうかつなんだよ。喋りすぎだ。
そっか。おじいちゃん以外の参加者に初めて会ったけど必死なんだね。だから僕の一言一言を注意して聞いている。
I'm pretty sure that everyone is becoming desperate in divine selection.
おい、もういいだろ。これ以上このガキと話してても仕方がない。
I glance over at Odette to get her agreement. She smiles and nods in response.
たまにはてめえとも気が合うな。こうなっちまった以上こいつを黙らせてジジイが戻ってくる前に家を捜索する。ジジイが帰ってきたところで黙らせるのは問題ねえが、選定までまだ数日ある。その間に警察を呼ばれたら面倒だ。
I am thinking the same thing. Things would get real annoying real fast if someone were to cause a ruckus here. Our passports and stuff might be good fakes, but it'd be tricky to sneak around with the police on our asses. We ain't the most decent people in the world either. They'll find plenty to hold us on if they're given a reason to check our histories.
この家には監視カメラもないんだ。てめえを喋れない状態にしちまえばそれで十分だ。
言っておくが、俺たちにかなうと思うんじゃねえぞ。
てめえは自分より弱そうな相手に対しては強気だな。
Yeah, Federico, where's that gung-ho attitude against Odette?
うっせ！
Both of us move towards the kid, but they still won't budge. Hell, they provoke us even more.
おじいちゃんは僕が守るよ。
Are we gonna get into a fight?
いい度胸。おい、私は入り口の方を見てるからてめえで片付けろ。
任せな！
The quickest way to shut someone up is to crush their throat. It won't kill them, but it'll keep them from singing for a few solid days. I step forward through the narrow hallway, my hands aimed at the kid's throat. They manage to move quickly enough to dodge under me.
すばしっこいな。
It's pretty common for smaller targets, but in the end, the kid's just a kid. I've got the longer reach, not to mention the physical advantage. They turn their back to me and make their way further into the house.
逃げるのか。
All they've done is move into another room. Noise travels pretty easily in a cramped house like this, so as long as it ain't one of them ninja houses, it shouldn't be hard to find them.
逃げないよ。
They pop back out from the room they ran into. I kick at them with my left leg. I create enough distance that they won't be able to reach me.
こんなの。
They dodge under me again, but it's no big deal. As I bring my leg down, I smack the kid with the back of my heel. It connects with their shoulder, causing them to falter for a moment. I was aiming for their head, but they ducked out of the way in time. With my foot planted in the ground, I move in for the kill again.
おいバカ下がれ
Before I can react, the kid has slid right beneath me. They use the impact of my heel hitting them to close the gap between us. Don't tell me the brat actually let themselves take the hit. It's too late for me to do anything, though. I have no idea if I managed to let out a scream or not. I tried to block it, but there was no way. The kid clenched her fist and let loose with a flying uppercut straight into my crotch. Before the pain kicks in, I lose all feeling in my body for just a moment. Ha! Take that, you bastard! And then the sharpest of pains rushes through me, almost like all the organs in my groin are being strangled. My hands cover my crotch on reflex as I crumple to my knees. They don't stop there though. Pain starts to rush through my shoulder next. This isn't pain from a blunt strike though. It's from a sharp object.
外したか。
Get him, kid! Get him! They're holding a knife in their right hand, which they use to stab my shoulder. Grovel for us, you bastard! Fortunately, it hit the seam of my jacket, so I got away with a minor cut. They must have run into that room to grab a knife, so I assume it was a kitchen.
おかしいな。頸動脈を狙ったんだけど。
I do my best to collect myself, but the pain from my crotch isn't making it easy to move. They retract the knife and take aim for a second stab. Somehow I manage to throw myself out of the way just in the nick of time. Although doing so leads to me face planting on the floor. I turn to face them and see no hesitation on their face whatsoever. At least the pain's starting to fade. I raise my knees in order to kick myself back onto my feet and dodge the knife. Turns out that isn't their plan of attack. Instead, I can tell another shot at my crotch is coming. Not wanting to experience that again, my body unconsciously ducks under to dodge it.
今度こそ。
The next moment, a mammoth shadow passes over top of me. Odette had launched her massive leg right into the kid. They block with both arms crossed in front of their face, but the impact still sends them flying across the hall.
てめえはバカかあんなガキに負けやがって
負けてね
Nobody in the world would believe that. If I'm being honest, I'm terrified by how focused they were on decimating my loins.
おっと
The kid flings the knife across the hall towards us. Odette dodges it with ease, which leads to it clattering harmlessly on the floor. But the knife wasn't twirling around or anything in midair, it flew straight as an arrow. Fuck, this kid has combat experience!
何者だ
僕もわからないよ。でも、体が勝手に動くんだ。
This kid is probably a terrorist, which explains why they were the ones with the bomb that killed Rinka.
記憶喪失だろうが体に染みついた技術ってのは体が覚えてるらしいからね
Odette plucks the knife from the floor and chucks it back at the kid with even greater speed and precision. They knock it aside with a frying pan they've grabbed from nearby before scuttling off into a room across from where they got the knife. The fuck is this, PUBG? It was a tiny window of opportunity, but they took full advantage of it.
また武器かおい早く立て
I jump onto my feet the millisecond she shouts at me.
今度は何だ
さっきは殺そうとしたからダメだったんだ。選定中は脱落以外では死ねないから。
They reappear, muttering something at us.
これでどう
They brandish something in both hands, which then they heave towards us. Guess I'm their target again.
当たるかよ
Guess they've decided to chuck screwdrivers this time. 4 of them, each around 4 inches long, are heading my way. Not like they'll hurt me unless they catch you right in the eyes or mouth. Not great weapons, unlike the knife. All 4 scatter around the floor as I dodge them with a backstep. Odette charges in as soon as I step back to evade the flying tools.
こっちは2人だ忘れちゃいけね
She prepares to use a spin kick. The kid must have seen it coming though. They grab Odette's leg with their left hand and propel themselves upward in what looks like a handstand. The ceiling is low down enough that their feet reach it after the maneuver. Following that, they utilize the ceiling to propel themselves towards me yet again. With an even bigger knife in hand, mind you.
狙いは俺かよ
Because you're the weakest one. I ain't dumb enough to let someone leap straight at me. Their skill might have taken me by surprise, but I can dodge this, no problem. I slide my right foot back to do so.
どうしててめえはそんなにバカなんだ。
Her insult isn't directed towards the kid, but to me. My foot doesn't slide across the floor when I pull it back. Instead, I trip over something.
なんだと
It's not like I've tripped over thin air either. My foot has caught onto something hard. It's one of those screwdrivers the kid had thrown at me a while ago.
今度は外さない。
He planned it! The kid uses an opening to thrust the knife into my side. This time it digs deep into me. They retract the knife immediately and put some distance between us, their eyes watching Odette all the while. Blood starts to gush out of me, dousing my jacket. Fortunately, my ribs took the brunt of the blow, so my insides aren't damaged. I probably have a few cracked ribs though. That probably would have killed me had the kid been a bit stronger.
足を引っ張りやがって。第三だ。
I'm already starting to lose consciousness when she says that. From what I managed to hear, the kid had no intention of chasing us down. What the fuck? The kid fought them down!